today we are going to look at some of the granulating pigments on my palette. Some of my favorite granulating pigments. Some are just sedimentary, some are granulating, different varying degrees. This is Raw Sienna by Da Vinci. This is my favorite granulating paint. This is Lunar Earth by Daniel Smith. Absolutely love this color. This is Light Red by Holbein. It's my favorite mixing red. This is my favorite Burnt Sienna. This one is by Da Vinci. This is Burnt Sienna Deep. For some reason, I am really drawn to these earthy reds. I have a lot of them on my palettes. Look at that Lunar Earth, how beautiful that is. This is called Quin Gold Deep in Core, but this has been discontinued, but it is just such a beautiful color. I thought I'd put it on here anyway. PO48's in lots of different mixtures. Red Oxide by Core. Another brown red pigment. This is Potter's Pink. I am in love with this color. I looked at it for years. When I finally bought it, I am so glad I did. It's just such a beautiful color, and it's a beautiful mixer. This is Pigmentite by Daniel Smith. A lot of my granulating colors are by Daniel Smith because, of course, they're known for their granulation. This is a lovely brown, pinky brown. You can see how they're granulating. It's a change of pace here. This is Lilac by M. Graham. It's really just quite an opaque pigment, but it's just such a lovely pigment. You can see how thick the granules are. Lovely color. One of my very favorite colors that I use all the time is lavender. This is by Holbein, but I also have Daniel Smith's. Either one works just as well. Manganese Violet. This one is by Rembrandt. I love this color, but unfortunately, it is molding in my palette, so I had to take it off my primary palette. It's a gorgeous color, though. Ultramarine, another gorgeous color by Daniel Smith. One of my new favorite colors is called Joyce's Mother Violet. This is a Da Vinci color. It is just beautiful. This has manganese blue in it, so it really is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful mixtures. It's another one of my new favorites by Da Vinci. This is called Artemis. This is similar to Moonglow, but it seems to be a little more pigmented, and I like it better than Moonglow. This is Smalt by Winsor Newton. I also have Ultramarine. It's called Ultramarine Blue Violet by Core. It's a similar pigment. Lovely. Ultramarine Violet. This is a color I use all the time because of its granulation. It makes wonderful shadows and skin tones. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, soft, nice color. Ultramarine violet, ultramarine blue violet, or it's just very similar to the one down here. Cobalt blue violet, another one of my favorite. I love cobalt colors. They're so beautiful and heavy and just gorgeous colors. This is a new one for me. Imperial purple. By Daniel Smith. And they say it's granulating, so we will believe it. It's another, as you can see, I love violets. And a lot of violets are granulating. This is Wisteria by Daniel Smith, another quite opaque, beautiful, beautiful pinky violet. Violet. This is one by Daniel Smith I don't care for very much. I never use it, but I do have it. It's nice, light colors. Also, some of these that aren't granulating are just that just separate. They have several pigments that separate, and that I find fascinating. This is Amethyst Genuine, Daniel Smith. Beautiful, dark, deep violet. This is Verditer Blue. This is by Daniel Smith. This is my ultramarine blue that I use. This one's by Senoyer. This is Ultramarine Blue Deep. All right, these are what they look like after they've dried. It's a beautiful granulation in Joyce's Mother of Violet. The Potter's Pink. I added the Marie Violet up here, which is a mix I make myself. So there you have it. Next we will do the darks and grays and greens. And the last ones I added on this page are mixes I keep on my palette. Ultramarine Violet and Naples Yellow, which makes this incredible, these are still wet, incredibly beautiful green, violet gray. Cerulean Blue and Chromium and Naples Yellow makes this gorgeous greenish bluish color. And Cerulean Blue and Raw Sienna makes this incredibly beautiful green mixture here. So I'll do some more of my mixes next time. The colors I mix on my, and I just put them in a full pan mixed together so that I have them available. It's a nice way to make your own granulating and mixing colors. So there you have it. Cobalt Blue Deep. It's my favorite Cobalt Blue by Da Vinci. This Cerulean Blue Chromium, my favorite Cerulean Blue. I'm putting these on quite heavy so that you can see the granulation. This is a beautiful granulating color. This is probably my most used blue on my palette. Mayan Blue Genuine, I don't have out, but I do have a tube of it, so we'll put a little of that out. I do have Lunar Blue though. And I haven't found a lot of use for that either, honestly. Great. So there you have it, our first set of granulating colors. We have more to come, so we will just take these as they come. So my very favorites on these pages, the Lunar Earth, the Light Red by Holbein, the Joyce's Mother Violet, the Smalt color. Artemis usually separates a little bit better than that. I love Ultramarine Violet. Let's add a little more water to that. I love my Cobalt Blue and Cerulean and the Verditer, the Cobalt Blue Violet. Okay, we're continuing to look at the granulating colors on my palette. The next one up is Sodalite. It's one of my very favorite dark grays by Daniel Smith. Lovely Primatech granulating color. Very beautiful color. The Hematite I have to locate. This is Lunar Black. And if you really want a heavily granulating black, this is Mars Black. It's PBK 11. And Daniel Smith, it's called Lunar Black. This is another one of my favorite grays. This is Kyanite. It has little sparkles in it. Sometimes you can see them more than other times. It's a beautiful gray. It's also a Primatech color. The next one is a color by White Knights called Dark Shadow. I'm putting this pigment on quite heavy so that you can see what it does. Heavy and wet. Sodalite's already granulating like crazy. This is Italian Deep Ochre from Daniel Smith. And then if you didn't know that Quinn Gold is granulating, which I really did not know, Daniel Smith says Quinn Gold is granulating. So here we have Quinn Gold. Daniel Smith also makes Quinn Gold Deep, which is very similar to that PO48 that we looked at earlier. So now we'll switch to the greens. Iridian, which is an extremely granulating green. A great mixing color. I don't use it on its own. This is one of my very favorite colors, Cobalt Teal. This is absolutely gorgeous. If you're doing painting water, and it is a beautiful granulator, just as all cobalts are. Let's take up a little of that extra. Cobalt Turquoise, Daniel Smith, Amazonite. Another Primatech color. Aqua Mist. This is a White Knights color. This is in their granulating pigments set, so it's quite granulating. It's a gorgeous color. First time I've ever used White Knights. This is gorgeous color. Gorgeous color. Then they have one called Blue Mist, which is also in that set. The granulating set. Another gorgeous mixture with the phthalo blue. Phthalo turquoise by Daniel Smith. This is quite very close to this one. Turquoises vary so much in pigments between the different manufacturers. So you have to really research what you're looking for there. This is the Ultramarine Turquoise by Core. And it is much more on the green side. This is in that Alley Kavanaugh set. Very green turquoise. These are really lovely though. Cascade Green by Daniel Smith. Undersea Green by Daniel Smith. I never use this color. It's just too olivey for me. But it is a nice color. And this is a new one, Jadeite. Came in the Primatex set. It's a lovely bright, dark, bright, saturated green. Not very realistic to me. Pretty color though. I do really like Green Apatite though. Even though it is on the olive, more olive side, it's a really lovely granulator. It separates beautifully. Serpentine Genuine. Another one by Daniel Smith. I love granulating greens. Now Daniel Smith says that green gold is granulating. So I love this color, but I did not realize that it was considered a granulating color. So we will see. Pick up a little of that extra there. And another favorite of mine is Zoisite. This is just a gorgeous dark green. And it really granulates. It's really pretty color. That's that page. I've got to find the hematite and the cobalt turquoise. Okay, let's let those dry and see what we have. Okay, and here they are dry. Here's the sodalite, the hematite, the lunar black, the kyanite, which is on a bit thick, but it is a beautiful, I don't know if you can see the sparkles in that, very subtle. Dark Shadow by White Knights, Italian Deep Ochre by Daniel Smith, Quinn Gold by Daniel Smith, and Gold Deep by Daniel Smith, Viridian, Cobalt Teal, still looking for Cobalt Turquoise, Amazonite, don't really think that's very granulating at all. This is the Aqua Mist, granulating color from White Knights, the Blue Mist, granulating color, Phthalo Turquoise by Daniel Smith, Ultramarine Turquoise by Core, Cascade Green, Underwater Green, Jadeite, Green Apatite, Serpentine Genuine, Green Gold, and Zoisite. There you have. I hope you found this helpful in making color choices. Just because they say they're granulating doesn't mean they're always granulating or they might be slightly granulating. So do your research before you purchase the pigments. And I hope you found this helpful.